In this video, we'll be discussing a big change coming up in the weather in the next couple weeks. We'll also be looking at the severe weather threat as we get into March. After that, we'll be taking a look at an active storm pattern as we go on to the next couple of weeks. Let's get into the video. We got a lot of details to talk about. Hello everybody, Will here, and let's talk about the weather. Right here is a current look at the United States radar, and things are very quiet right now. We got a little bit of rain down in Florida, we got a little bit of snow up in the northeast, and a little bit here and there. But not much overall. It's been very quiet, and the next few days are going to be the same. But as we get into the next week or two and look later on in the month, things are going to get more active. We're getting into that time of year where we start to transfer a little bit from winter into more of spring, and in between that comes severe weather. At this time, we don't have any imminent risk of severe weather, but we are starting to enter a pattern where severe weather will be a little bit more favorable, and that's going to be something we have to keep an eye on with storm systems moving through the country in the next few weeks. As we get later into the month into early March, temperatures are going to start warming up. More moisture is going to start coming out of the Gulf, and that's going to be a recipe for severe weather across parts of the central and southern U.S. And it's just going to be something that we'll have to watch. First things first, we're going to look at the North American model and see what's going to be happening in the United States the next few days. So today, like I mentioned, there's a little bit of rain down in Florida, and that disturbance moving up to the northeast, bringing a bit of snow to Maine. But other than that, it's pretty quiet across the U.S. This will change a little bit for parts of the northern U.S. in the next few days as some clipper systems come down from the north. So we go through Tuesday into Wednesday. This first disturbance moves through the Great Lakes, and this could bring some very light snow from areas like northern Minnesota down through Michigan into parts of northern and western Pennsylvania possibly. Should be pretty light, however, there could be some lake effect snow with some heavier totals in spots. As we go through Wednesday afternoon, it continues to slide through the Great Lakes, and then we got a little bit of a stronger system coming in from the north after that as we go through Thursday afternoon into the evening. This will also bring snow to the same areas, however it might be a little bit heavier in areas like Michigan or Wisconsin and down in this area. As we go through the early morning Friday, it continues to slide to the east, bringing some heavier snow to some areas, and then as we get into Friday afternoon it starts to move out of here, and then some very cold air from the north moves in. Here's a look at estimated snow totals. This is from both of those storms, and as you can see there's a general area of anywhere from a dusting to 4 inches, but within this area where those lake effect bands hit, there could be heavier totals up to a foot in some spots. It just really depends where these bands set up, but these could significantly increase totals, and lake effect snow could be pretty dangerous. You could be driving down the interstate and it's perfectly clear, and 5 miles later you're under a really heavy band with whiteout conditions and the roads covered in snow, and it's a big mess. So you gotta watch out for these things. They could be a real pain. Now we'll switch over to the GFS model to look out a bit more into the long range forecast and see what's going on. So we're picking up Friday afternoon. You got that clipper system moving through the Great Lakes, bringing that snow. And then as that cold air dives south, there's a little bit of precipitation down toward the south more. Some areas could see a little bit of light snow with this, up through Arkansas, Tennessee, maybe parts of Kentucky, West Virginia. This will all be very light though, maybe a dusting at most. Temperatures are going to be right around freezing, maybe even a little bit above. So this stuff's going to have a hard time sticking and shouldn't be a big issue. So we continue into Saturday night and early Sunday. That piece of energy goes up to the northeast and a low pressure system forms off of the east coast. So we got that piece of energy that was down here moving up toward the northeast, and we had this energy down here that was moving a little bit toward the southeast, and they were going to merge together and create this low pressure right here. Now we call this phasing when two pieces of energy come together, and if these two pieces of energy had phased back over here, we'd be talking about another big snowstorm in the northeast. But unfortunately for snow lovers, these pieces of energy phased way too late and this thing's going to be far offshore before it becomes anything. After all this, we continue to look out into the future as we go into Monday. A storm starts to move into the Pacific Northwest, bringing some snow and rain to parts of the mountains. And then it starts to slide across the country Tuesday into Wednesday, and it goes north across Canada. Now later Wednesday into Thursday, another storm system starts to form. And now we have this cold front extending down from this low pressure up in Canada, bringing snow to parts of Missouri, Illinois, parts of Indiana, and Michigan. On the southern end of things, there's going to be some rain, which is beneficial because there are a lot of areas down there in a drought. Now moving Thursday into Friday, another low pressure system starts to form around Texas, bringing more rain, snow, and winter weather to parts of the central U.S. Anywhere from Oklahoma up to Indiana again could see some more snow, with maybe some sleet mix in the middle. This kind of looks similar to that system that hit last week with that heavy rain and heavy snow with ice in the middle. However, we're over a week out looking at this, and things are going to change a lot, but it gives us a general idea. But the European model is also showing a significant storm system around this time. We'll keep a close eye on this one. So back to the GFS. We go Thursday into Friday. That storm system slides to the northeast, possibly bringing snow, ice, and sleet. And on the southern end of things, we may have some severe weather. There isn't a whole lot of instability modeled, but there is enough down by the coast to have some severe thunderstorms. But even though this is far out, it looks like we're entering a more active pattern. So get this thing out of here. Another storm system starts to form that next Monday. This is almost 2 weeks out, so uncertainty is ridiculous, but it's showing that active pattern with another storm system moving through the US, bringing more rain and snow. Now we'll take a look at the 500 millibar. Basically where you see these areas of blue is more stormy weather, more unsettled weather. Where you see these orange and red are areas of calm weather where these high pressures are, and usually pretty dry. So we'll take a zoomed out look. We have this area of ridging right here. This is why it's so dry in California right now. This ridge is just pushing all the storms over and around it, leaving this area dry. Nothing could get through. As we go in time, that ridge is very stout, bringing dry weather conditions to the west coast. You can see that Clipper system right here is diving to the south. As we go into the weekend, that high pressure persists over on the west coast. There's a lot of stormy activity in the north central US. And then finally, there's our storm right there forming off the east coast in that blue right in here. And then we have that other storm system we're watching diving down from the south. Whenever this ridge starts to go up into Alaska, it dislodges the cold air up there and sends it to the south. So whenever these pink colors are over here over Alaska, it usually means that we're going to get some colder weather. Now continuing on, that storm system through the central United States gets stronger and moves through. A lot of unsettled weather across most of the US now. The west coast isn't getting as much action due to that area of high pressure just staying there, not going anywhere. Continue on through the days, another storm comes down, and then finally that ridge starts to break down across California, possibly bringing some unsettled weather. This is over 2 weeks out though, so take this with a grain of salt. However, models are just showing an active weather pattern for most of the US. My lowest confidence for unsettled weather is the west coast because of that stubborn area of high pressure. And as we get later into the month into early March when things start to warm up, if we have this active weather pattern, there's going to be a risk for severe weather. The average temperature is going to be in the 70s instead of the 60s down near the Gulf Coast. There's going to be moisture in place. You're going to have those storm systems moving through out of the west, and there's going to be potential eventually. As of right now, there's not any imminent threats, but there will be eventually. And it's looking like we're going to get some interesting weather. So for now, enjoy this quiet period of weather for the next few days, especially with all these storms we've had over the last few weeks. A calm period is pretty nice. So enjoy it while it lasts, because more weather will be coming soon. It always does. Anyways, that's all I got for today's video. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. If you are new, be sure to click that like button and subscribe. Share with everyone you know, and I'll have another update out soon. See you guys later.